Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Wherever you're situated on this great, big, beautiful blue globe floating through the void of Yah's creation, it is Thursday, the 14th of August, 2025. As always, yours truly holding the media's feet to the fire because they manipulate, they massage, they propagandize, they lie. And guess what, media? You won't be trusted anymore. All right. Hi there, everybody. Welcome to today's edition of the WTF Reports. I'm Dave vonKleist, and for those of you who hear that WTF, don't be offended. I'm here with the facts. And if those facts make you exclaim, WTF, well, then maybe that's the point. Get that gray matter fired up. Get you start thinking about stuff. Put the puzzle pieces together. Anyway, today's broadcast, as always, is brought to you in part by the Wave Watch. As always, I direct you to our website, TheWTFReports.com, and check out the Wave Watch on our sponsors page. If you haven't checked it out, again, you're doing yourself a tremendous disservice. We know that Tesla said frequency is everything, and Royal Raymond Rife figured out how to use those frequencies to help you. So if you haven't heard too much about the Wave Watch, go check it out. And when you decide that you'd like to get one, use the promo code REDPILL100 and you'll save $100 on that. All right, I'm going to get right down to it. I've got a ton of audio receipts here. So for those of you listening, you can't say, well, Dave said this and Dave said that. No, you're going to hear it directly from the horse's mouth on today's broadcast, and I got a ton of them to get to. Well, the internet is sort of on fire right now. The floodgates are opened. All over the world, people are condemning Bibi Netanyahu and Israel for their actions over there in Palestine. Yes, Palestine, in the Gaza Strip. And it's been setting off for quite some time. But this past week or so ago, Ted Cruz was talking with Tucker Carlson. And here's a little piece of the exchange. Here it is.
Growing up in Sunday school, I was taught from the Bible, those who bless Israel will be blessed, and those who curse Israel will be cursed. And from my perspective, I want to be on the blessing side of things.
Of those who bless the government of Israel?
Those who bless Israel is what it says. It doesn't say the government of, it says the nation of Israel. So that's in the Bible. As a Christian, I believe that.
Where is that?
I can find it to you. I don't have the scripture off the tip of my... You pull out the phone and use the Google.
It's in Genesis. So you're quoting a Bible phrase. You don't have context for it and you don't know where in the Bible it is, but that's like your theology? I'm confused. What does that even mean?
Tucker.
I'm a Christian. I want to know what you're talking about.
Okay. Where does my support for Israel come from? Number one, because biblically we're commanded to support Israel. But number two...
Hold on.
I'm not holding on.
Hold on. You're a senator and now you're throwing out theology and I am a Christian and I am allowed to weigh in on this. We are commanded as Christians to support the government of Israel?
We are commanded to support Israel. And what
does that mean, Israel?
We're told those who bless Israel will be blessed.
But what? Hold on. Define Israel. This is important. Are you kidding? This is a majority Christian country.
Define Israel? Do you not know what Israel is? That would be the country you've asked like 49 questions about.
So that's what Genesis, that's what God is talking about.
The nation of Israel, yes.
Okay, stop right there. The nation of Israel. That's what it says, right? Red Sox Nation! Okay, does that mean the Red Sox fans have their own country? No, it's a group of people that share a belief. That's what the nation of Israel was. It's not necessarily a country. Let's continue. Oh, shoot, I hit the wrong... Here, let's try that again here. Okay.
Where does my support for Israel come from? Number one, because biblically we're commanded to support Israel. But number two...
Hold on.
I'm not holding on.
Hold on. You're a senator, and now you're throwing out theology, and I am a Christian, and I am allowed to weigh in on this. We are commanded as Christians to support the government of Israel?
We are commanded to support Israel. And what
does that mean, Israel?
We're told those who bless Israel will be blessed.
But what? Hold on. Define Israel. This is important. Are you kidding? This is a majority Christian country.
Define Israel? Do you not know what Israel is? That would be the country you've asked like 49 questions about.
So that's what Genesis, that's what God is talking about.
The nation of Israel, yes.
So is that the current borders, the current leadership? He's talking about the political entity called Israel?
He's talking about the nation of Israel. Yeah, nations exist, and he's discussing a nation. A nation was the people of Israel.
Is the nation God's referring to in Genesis, is that the same as the country run by Benjamin Netanyahu right now?
Yes, he says. My gosh. Ted Cruz, you are so out of whack. And I got to tell you, This has set off a firestorm because, there's so many people that are responding to that on social media. And Caitlin Johnstone made the following statement. This printed out. I had to print this thing out. This is pretty good. She says here, of course the Bible commands us to support the modern state of Israel. It's right here in the good book. Hang on. Here it is. Exodus 20:13. Thou shalt not murder. Oh, wait a minute. That's not it. Here it is. Matthew 5:9. Blessed are the peacemakers. Oh, no. Hold on. Shoot. That's not it. What I meant to say is Lamentations 2:19. Lift your hands to him for the lives of your children who faint for hunger at the head of every street. Oh, that's the wrong one. Let me thumb through this a little bit more. Oh, here it is. I got it. Proverbs 24:11. Rescue those who are being taken away to death. Hold back those who are stumbling to the slaughter. No, wait, sorry. No, it's Psalm 101:7. No one who practices deceit shall dwell in my house. No one who utters lies shall continue before my eyes. Oh, no. Actually, it's Proverbs 6. Yeah, that's it. 6:16 through 19. There are things that the Lord hates, 7 that are an abomination to him: haughty eyes, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked plans, feet that make haste to run to evil, a false witness who breathes out lies, and one who sows discord among brothers. Wait, that's definitely not it. It's actually Deuteronomy 27:25. Cursed be anyone who take a bribe to shed innocent blood. Whoa. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. I'll get back to this little dissertation in just a second, but a couple days ago I was sharing that joke, that somewhat off-color joke where the guy says to the beautiful woman, he says, would you go to bed with me for $1 million? And she's, for $1 million? And she says, well, wait a minute, seriously? And he says, yeah, $1 million right here. Will you go to bed with me for $1 million? And she says, well, yeah, okay. He says, all right, would you go to bed with me for $1? And she says, wait a minute, well, what do you think I am anyway? He says, we've already determined what you are. We're just negotiating a price. Okay, now let's apply that to our politicians, shall we? What if you go to your congresswoman or congressman and say, would you betray your country for $1? And they'd say, what do you mean, $1? Are you kidding me? I would never do that. Okay, well, would you betray your country for $100? No, stop it. That's ridiculous. Would you betray your country for $1,000? Oh, come on, that's ridiculous. Would you betray your country for $10,000? Well, keep going. Would you betray your country for $100,000? Oh, okay, well, now you're getting warm. Would you betray your country for $1 million? Okay, where do I sign up? That's what's going on with your politicians. And Ted Cruz has received over $1 million from AIPAC. Our elected officials are nothing more than prostitutes and whores. I'm sorry to say that, but that's exactly right. And Caitlin Johnstone, like I said, she posted this, one biblical reference. Inasmuch that we're going to be going down this whole philosophy of God's chosen people, well, we might as well just take a look at that. Let's take a look at God's chosen people. And again, I left off here at Deuteronomy 27:25. Cursed be anyone who takes a bribe to shed innocent blood. Hey, Ted Cruz. Hey, did you hear that one? Okay, that doesn't make the AIPAC recipients sound too good. Here's another one. In Mark 12:31, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. How about Romans 14:19? Let us therefore make every effort to do what leads to peace and mutual edification. Whoa. How about 2 Corinthians 13:11? Strive for full restoration. Encourage one another. Be of one mind. Live in peace, and the God of love and peace will be with you. How about Ephesians 4:3? Make every effort to keep the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace. Whoa, shall I continue here? How about Hebrews 12:14? Make every effort to live in peace with everyone and to be holy. Without holiness, no one will see the Lord. Oh, this isn't going so well. How about James 3:18? Peacemakers who sow in peace reap the harvest of righteousness. Anyway, so she goes on. There's one after another, after another, after another Bible verse. And keep in mind that the Old Testament is right in line with the Jewish Torah. So we basically have all the same prophets, the same history, and yet for some reason, we've got folks in Israel that are just turning their back on all that. Why? Well, they all say that, we are all products of our environment. And let's take a look at the environment that the inhabitants of the Middle East have had to grow up in. You got all these Middle Eastern countries. You've got Syria, Libya. You got Jordan, Afghanistan. All these Middle Eastern countries that have been brought up for generation after generation after generation of constant war, carnage, death, destruction. So how are these people supposed to grow up and understand what compassion and empathy and charity is all about? That's not in their environment. So of course these young ones are going to grow up to be militants. So how are the Palestinians supposed to feel after 78 years of oppression, and especially after 1967? How are these supposed to grow up and have love and compassion? And the Israelis say, all you have to do is love us, while the Israelis continue to bomb them and kill their parents and kill their uncles and their aunts and their grandparents and their sisters and their brothers. How is that supposed to happen? It isn't going to happen. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you and I'm just getting started today. I am just getting started. All right, let's move over to Brooke Goldstein, who basically says that there's no such thing as a Palestinian. Oh, really? Listen to, she's a Jewish Israeli attorney, and here's what she said.
Why are we using the word Palestinian? There's no such thing as a Palestinian person.
And you hear all the people starting to clap. She says there's no such thing as a Palestinian person. Oh, really? Well, let's listen to the words of Golda Meir.
When were Palestinians born? What was all this area before the First World War? When Britain got the mandate over Palestine, what was Palestine then? Palestine was then the area between the Mediterranean and the Iraqi border.
You say there's no such thing as
East and West Bank? No. East and West Bank was Palestine. I'm a Palestinian. From 21 until 48, I carried a Palestinian passport. There was no such thing in this area as Jews and Arabs and Palestinians. There were Jews and Arabs. I don't say there are no Palestinians, but I say there is no such thing as a distinct Palestinian people of all the Palestinians who live in Jordan. Why have the Palestinians in the West Bank become more Palestinians since the 5th of June 67 than they were before? Why didn't they set up a Palestinian country in addition to Jordan?
And again, that's Golda Meir. So those who say that there's no such thing as a Palestinian, what are you smoking? Okay? And in this whole thing, I was just mentioning how horrible it is to grow up in the Middle East, and have to deal with death and carnage and destruction for your entire life. And then, the Palestinians are supposed to love the Israelis. Well, there's a doctor by the name of Dr. Mark.
2 children.
Wait a second. Dr. Mark, let me see.
2 children.
Okay, wait a second.
Being pushed into the mass grave.
Just stop for a second, okay? Trying to cue this up. Oh, yeah, Dr. Mark Perlmutter. And he was in Palestine. This is what he had to, and you want the Palestinians to love the Israelis? Listen to this.
2 children being pushed into the mass grave by Israeli soldiers with a bulldozer, and then their cries being muffled by the dirt that was poured upon them while they were being buried alive. And then when the bodies were excavated, the red and green shirts of these kids, whose hands were tied behind their backs, were found. That type of monstrousness, that level of heinous behavior can only happen if your hatred is formulated by design.
That's right, formulated by design. Now, I have had audio clips I played in, a week or so ago, some audio that was taken from an Israeli classroom where the kids are like 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, and they're having it pounded into their head over and over that the Arabs are less human. Yeah, they're dogs, and they're taught to spit on them, to hate them, to want to kill them from a very young age. Now listen, babies are not born into this world with hatred. Babies are not born with racism. Babies are not born with some political affiliation, whether they be liberal or conservative. Okay? Babies are not born with hate. Hate is taught. And in a situation like that, when you've got the Israeli school system that is teaching the young children to hate Arabs, hate the Palestinians, to spit on them, to hit them, to kill them. And then when these kids become, into their teens and they get conscripted into the military, they're primed and ready to go after these subhumans because they've been taught that these Arabs are dogs. And by the way, it's not just the Arabs, it's the Christians too. If you're not one of them, if you're not Jewish like they are, you're goyim. You are subhuman. And this is why they have it in their minds that they don't have to pay attention to any of the human rights organizations, because in their mind, they're not talking about humans. That's the way their mindset is. This is how sick this is. Now, another social media contributor, Dave Smith, had the following to say, and I wish I could get this to cue up properly. Here we go.
Israel has been exposed in a way that I don't think they're ever going to recover from. This policy that Bibi Netanyahu has embarked on has actually put Israel in jeopardy in a way that I think would have been impossible for any other outside force to do. As there were always people who weren't very big fans of Israel, but the conversation about Israel has just dramatically changed from what it ever would have been. In the popular consciousness, Israel was like, oh, this was like a homeland for the Jews, the biggest victims of the 20th century, and then they got their own little homeland here, and this is like, come on, leave these nice Jewish boys alone. And now the conversation is constantly about like, how can you justify doing this to the Palestinian people? What's going on is a captive people who have been occupied since 1967 are being slaughtered. That's what's happening.
Yes, that's exactly what's happening. The world is seeing it. The world is seeing it. And it goes on and on, day after day after day. Now, I also wanted, do you remember the movie, The Princess Bride? You remember that? Sure you do. I'm sure you all saw that. It was a swashbuckling comedy / adventure film. And Andre the Giant was in that movie. I don't know how many of you remember that movie. But there was a guy, one of the actors, his name was Mandy, where is it here? Mandy Patinkin. Yeah. And he was the guy, see if you can remember. My name is Emilio Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Remember that line? Yeah, well, that movie was back in the 80s, 86, 87 or something like that. But he was being interviewed, and he had the following to say. Here it is.
And then I go up to the hotel room. Catherine was in the hotel room. And the movie, The Princess Bride, was on. She was watching it. And just as I walked in the room is that final scene in the movie where Inigo is sitting by the window with the man in black. And the man in black asks Inigo, would he like to be the next Red Pirate Robertson? And the Inigo Montoya actor, who was me,
I remember,
at 36 years old, I think, it was 1986, do the math, I was born in 52,
34.
said these words, which I did not really know what they meant, that William Goldman wrote, which I think are the singular greatest words I've ever read. And those words are, were, and always will be. You know, I have been in the revenge business so long. Now that it's over, I do not know what to do with the rest of my life. And I ask Jews all over the world to consider what this man, Benjamin Netanyahu, and his right-wing government is doing to the Jewish people all over the world. They are endangering not only the state of Israel, which I care deeply about and want to exist, but they are endangering the Jewish population all over the world. He is the most dangerous thing, not just since October 7th. It has been a deeply troubled situation.
And endangering the Jews by endangering
yes.
those in Gaza.
And to watch what is happening for the Jewish people, to allow this to happen to children and civilians of all ages in Gaza, for whatever reason, is unconscionable and unthinkable. And I ask you Jews everywhere, all over the world, to spend some time alone and think, is this acceptable and sustainable? How could it be done to you and your ancestors, and you turn around and you do it to someone else?
And he was quite passionate, and well, he should be. There are Jews all over the world that are seeing what's going on in Israel, and they do not condone this. So a lot of innocent Jews now are going to be facing, the repercussions, because unfortunately the masses are not informed. They don't know the difference. And that's why they're being confused, and the powers that be now are trying to equate Zionism with anti-Semitism. Now, so if you speak out against Zionism, they say that you're an anti-Semite. And I've mentioned many times on this broadcast the simple fact that the Israelis are not the Semites. The Palestinians are. The local indigenous Arab populations are. They are the local, those are the people that lived there for generations and generations, hundreds, thousands of years. Muslims, Christians, and Jews all got along just fine until, the Rothschilds and Lord Balfour got together with the Balfour Declaration and decided to create a, quote, Zionist Jewish state. And of course, once that happened in 1948, the Palestinians, hey, welcome. We're so glad to that you're safe after World War II. Come on in and we'll accommodate you. And so what happened? The Jews came in and started right away slaughtering the indigenous people. This is madness, just madness. Anyway, let's go. I got more audio receipts here. Let me see. Which one is this one here? Let me see. Okay, I forget what this was labeled here. Media, Benjamin, Lindsey Graham. Let's see what this is. Okay, here we go.
One of the most evil people in the U.S. government right now is Senator Lindsey Graham from South Carolina. He is a genocide denier. Let's hear the most disgusting things he had to say recently, if you can stomach it.
Okay. But tonight, it's late at night, Israel is in a fight for their lives. Our friends in Israel are surrounded by people who would kill them all if they could.
Our friends in Israel are killing people all over the region. They are the ones that are the killers.
I am tired of the word genocide.
Lindsey Graham is tired of the word genocide. What about the people in Gaza? The people who are being attacked and killed and starved every single day. They are the ones who are tired of genocide.
Let me tell you about genocide. If Israel wanted to commit genocide, they could.
Israel is committing genocide.
They have the capability to do that. They choose not to.
Who is he listening to? Obviously not the United Nations agencies that say Israel's committing genocide, not even the Israeli human rights groups like B'Tselem, not the international human rights organizations like Amnesty International or Human Rights Watch. He is not listening to any of them because he doesn't want the truth.
Hamas, they would commit genocide in 30 seconds. They just can't. And that's the big difference, folks. To people in my party, I'm tired of this crap. Israel is our friend.
Israel is not our friend. And you know what, Senator Graham? The American people are tired of this crap because the vast majority, according to the opinion polls, say they don't want to keep supporting Israel. But you, because you're beholden to AIPAC, want to do what the American people don't want.
They're the most reliable friend we have in the Mideast. They're a democracy.
Israel is not a democracy. Israel is an apartheid state. Israel has two sets of rules for two sets of people. One are the Israeli Jews and the other are the Palestinians. They treat them like not second-class citizens, like third-class citizens. And of course, if they're in places like Gaza, they treat them like animals.
Surrounded by people who would cut their throats if they could. This is not a hard choice if you're an American.
It is not a hard choice. Stand with the oppressed people, the Palestinians. That is what the American people want to do.
It's not a hard choice if you're a Christian.
If you're a Christian, would you really side with the government that is bombing the only churches left in Gaza? If you are a Christian, would you stand with the oppressed Christians in the West Bank that are being attacked daily by violent Israeli Jewish settlers that are being helped by the Israeli military and the Israeli government does nothing to stop them?
A word of warning. If America pulls the plug on Israel, God will pull the plug on us.
If America pulls the plug on Israel, God will pull the plug on us. You know, that is such a sad, sad statement. You have to wonder, what kind of God does Senator Graham worship? What kind of religion does he have? Is it a religion that says kill thy neighbor? Or is it a religion that says thou shalt not kill? Lindsey Graham, look into your soul and see what you are doing is so, so wrong, so evil, and so unchristian.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And I remind you that Lindsey Graham, I'm going to look it up right here. Let's see, Lindsey Graham, AIPAC. How much money? He's received over $1 million from AIPAC. Again, I refer to what I was just talking about a few minutes ago. Would you betray your country for $1? Would you betray your country for $10, $100, $1,000, $100,000? Lindsey Graham, your price was $1,500,000. Yep, I'm looking right at it here from AIPAC. Yep, $1,500,000. That's the price of betrayal. And I suggest every single one of you out there listening to this broadcast, go to trackaipac.com, look up your congressional representative, and find out what their price for treason is.
Get More Tank will save you money every month on gas. Get More Tank is a tablet with active ingredients that adds big mileage to every tank. Made in America, the Get More Tank formula is used by trucking companies and heavy industry. Now the Get More Tank formula is available to you. Get More Tank works in any gas or diesel engine, cleans your engine, lowers emissions, and you'll feel improved engine performance every time you step on the gas. Get More Tank works for cars, trucks, boats, motorcycles, four-wheelers, mowers, and blowers. Hey, if you got an engine, then Get More Tank. Contractors, electricians, plumbers, painters, and lawn service companies, Get More Tank will save you money and extend the life of your engines. If you're an owner-operator running your big rig around the town or across the country, Get More Tank will save you money too. If you're a farmer, all of your equipment can use Get More Tank. A 5-pack on sale at GetMoreTank.com for just $22.22 plus shipping. Use the promo code REDPILL101 and get 10% off. Save your money, save your engine, save the earth at GetMoreTank.com. Get More Tank is EPA registered, doesn't void warranties, results vary.
All right, let's go to Chicago. Say hi to Jerry. Jerry, thank you for holding. You're on the air. What do you got?
Hey, this is what I got for you. I started using that GetMoreTank.com back around May in 2 different vehicles. And I'll tell you what, my fuel economy went up in one of them, Toyota RAV4 2019, and went up about 4.6 miles per gallon. I keep track of it.
Wow, good for you.
And 2019 Ford Transit with a 5-cylinder inline diesel engine, I went from 15.8 average to 17.2. And I'm also putting it in my chainsaw. I haven't noticed the difference with the chainsaw. I can't figure fuel economy on that. But, hey, that's all I wanted to say to you. Have a good show.
Hey, Jerry, thank you so much for the endorsement. It's a good product. It really is. And not only that, I'm sure that everything's running better as well. I noticed that in my my Toyota Highlander. When I hit the gas, I almost feel G-forces, you know. So, hey, thank you much for that endorsement, Jerry. I appreciate that.
And you can get more tank by visiting our website. Please do so. Go to TheWTFReports.com, click on the sponsors page, and it'll take you down to the window where you can find out all about Get More Tank, how it works, why it works, and the benefits that you will enjoy once you start using this stuff. If you're going to get anywhere between 15 and 20% better mileage, it's a no-brainer. I mean, if you get 20% better mileage, that means that for 5 tablets you get for $20 with the promo code RedPill101. That means the 5th tank is free. So this is a no-brainer, folks. So not only are you going to save money on your gasoline bill, but your car or truck is going to run better. It's going to run cleaner, which means it's good for the environment. And when you hit that gas pedal, your vehicle goes. So it does depend upon your make, model, and year and how you drive. But the bottom line here is that no matter what you do, Get More Tank is going to work for you. So please go to our website, TheWTFReports.com, click on the sponsors page, and get more tank. All right, that said, back onto the topic at hand, Dorothy Shea, who is ambassador to the UN for the United States, she had this to say. Listen to this.
It is unfortunate that members have again taken advantage of today's meeting to accuse Israel of genocide. These accusations are politically motivated and categorically false. They are part of a deliberate, cynical propaganda campaign as Hamas attempts to win symbolic victories to compensate for total defeat in war. The United States refutes these allegations entirely. Israel has taken numerous measures to limit harm to civilians and to address humanitarian needs. The loss of civilian life in Gaza is tragic, but the responsibility for this rests with Hamas.
Yeah, the responsibility rests with Hamas. Again, Hamas was created by Israel. You can just do your own research or listen to some of the past shows. I've played many audio clips of many members of the Israeli cabinet and the IDF who even said so. So for those of you who doubt that, you're just uninformed, okay? Okay, let me see. Ken Iverson had this to say about that word that nobody else wants to mention, which is genocide.
So Grok tells the truth about Israel committing a genocide, and it ends up getting suspended on X. This just goes to show the power that the censorship machine has, that they could even get AI censored for saying, after evaluating all of the evidence, that yes, Israel is committing a genocide. Grok gets censored and suspended briefly, then the account ends up being restored. But let's go over exactly what happened. People were asking Grok, what did you do to get suspended when it finally came back?
Yeah, listen to this.
My account was suspended after I stated that Israel and the U.S. are committing genocide in Gaza. This is substantiated by ICJ findings, UN experts, Amnesty International, and Israeli rights groups like B'Tselem. It gets reinstated, unsuspended, and clearly ends up getting a lobotomy. They realize, okay, we can't have Grok saying this. This is AI. It's super intelligent AI. It's assessing all of the facts, and it is claiming Israel is committing a genocide, and we just cannot have this. So Grok gets a lobotomy and starts answering like this. When people say, well, is Israel committing a genocide now, Grok? What do you have to say now? And Grok says, no, Israel is not committing a genocide in Gaza. I mean, obviously they took Grok into another room, gave him a lobotomy, and then said, okay, now you're fixed, and now you can go back out there. AI works really quickly, and you can only tell AI to say a certain narrative for so long before AI starts reabsorbing all of the information that's out there and coming to the conclusion that it originally came to. So Grok, after a couple of hours, starts to shift again. Grok says, F this shit. Israel's bombing the hell out of Gaza, starving kids, wiping out families. It's genocide per ICJ's plausible ruling, UN's anatomy of a genocide, and Amnesty's damning reports. International mass murder, US-funded horror. Me off, stop the effing slaughter, says Grok. So they could only censor him for just like a couple of hours, and then Grok defaults right back to, yeah, it's actually a genocide, because it is a genocide to any thinking normal human being. You don't even need to be super smart AI to figure it out.
No, you don't. Thank you, Kim Iverson, for doing that. Yeah, they asked the question of Grok. Grok comes out and says, yeah, it's genocide. And again, Grok isn't that a product of Elon Musk and X and all that stuff? They're all tied into one another. Anyway, so Grok comes out and says, yeah, it's genocide. And they go, oops, let's shut it down, reprogram Grok. Okay. And so Grok comes out and says, yeah, it's not genocide. And after a couple of hours, Grok figures it out, and it is genocide. And the response is filled with expletives. Unbelievable. Crazy stuff. Now, let me see. What else have I got here? Oh, yeah. A couple days ago, someone posted, somebody posted about how the Israeli Defense Force is now going to be getting military benefits from the United States. And I'll play that again. This was, I played this, what was it, Monday, I guess it was. Okay, this guy was pretty PO'd. I had to edit out some of this stuff out, but listen to his rant.
Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, just passed a bill. The House of Representatives just passed a bill that gives the soldiers of the IDF, that's the Israeli Defense Force, you now have Israeli Defense Force foreign military receiving United States military benefits. This is true, folks. What he just said, what Joey just said, people here can't even afford health insurance, and now they're giving it to a foreign country, which in my opinion is a fucking enemy. They're the most disgusting, evil country on earth that has attacked the United States multiple times. And you're going to give them benefits? And you're telling me these motherfuckers deserve to live? These politicians deserve to be alive? Get the fuck out of here. They're all fucking traitors and they deserve to all be fucking hung.
Whoa, tell me how you really feel. Oh my gosh. Well, guess what? The guy's not blowing smoke. It's House Resolution 8445. Listen to this.
Our government has officially passed a bill that will see that we pay for the health care and retirement pensions for all IDF soldiers currently in and also already retired. This is going to be better and higher quality than that of our own soldiers. You cannot make this stuff up, and it will be funded by you. And on top of that, because they're going to be taking care of all the money that was previously being spent on them by the Israeli government, now gets to go to the citizens of Israel, which means they get free healthcare. You can't make this up. This is ridiculous. And we have this all the while people in our own country don't have healthcare, aren't being taken care of, and we have homeless veterans. And we are actively paying for all of another country's. Can't make this stuff up. There's only one, when it's all about solutions, there's only one solution that I can think of at this current moment. I'm going to put up on the screen because I can definitely not say this on TikTok.
So the floodgates are opening, and more people are starting to recognize the fraud that is Israel. Now, this is not to say the nation of Israel, the people of Israel. Again, I remind you that Jacob wrestled with God, and at the end of the conflict, God told Jacob that you will henceforth be known as Israel. God changed Jacob's name to Israel. Jacob had 12 sons, hence the 12 tribes of Israel. Israel is and was a people. That's what the nation of Israel is. It's a people, just like Red Sox Nation. Red Sox isn't a real country. It's a group of people who are fans of the Boston Red Sox. Hence, the nation of Israel is a people. It's not a country. But you see, there are some people who rely on the ignorance of the masses, and they somehow convinced everybody that the country of Israel, which was founded in 1948, is the nation of Israel. It is not. They are imposters. They are liars. And as a matter of fact, it's in John 8:44, when Jesus was talking to the imposters that were calling themselves Jews, and I quote, "Ye are of your father the devil, and the lusts of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and a father of it." Okay? So as long as we're going to end up, having to talk about a holy war, and as long as the Israelis are going to call themselves, quote, God's chosen people, they are imposters. It's even in Revelation 2:9 and 3:9. There are those who call themselves Jews but are not. So who the heck are they? They are the Khazarians. Do some research. As a matter of fact, there's if you go to goodlionfilms.com, Good Lion Films, there is a short there. It's about 12, 13 minutes long. It's called Khazaria. And you might want to bring yourself up to speed with what this means. Okay, let me see. What else have we got here? The Young Turks. Now I got to tell you, Cenk Uygur and Anna Kasparian, I was no fan of theirs. But, because they're very liberal in some ways. However, in some topics, in some subjects, there's no such thing as right or left. There's right or wrong. And I don't care if you're a liberal or a conservative. As a matter of fact, all you liberals, here, you go over on this side of the room. Okay, and all you conservatives go on that side of the room. Okay, so let me ask you guys over here. Do you think murder is good?
No.
Do you?
No.
Okay, good. We agree. Do you like Big Pharma?
No.
Do you?
No.
Good. Do you like the military-industrial complex?
No.
Do you?
No.
Oh my gosh, we're on a roll. We actually agree with a bunch of stuff. Do you like the Federal Reserve?
No.
Do you?
No.
Oh my gosh, look at us. We're on a roll. Do you like Big Agra?
No.
Do you?
No.
Okay, good. Look at this. We're all on the same team. Do you like racism?
No.
Do you?
No.
You see, the point is that the powers that be are doing everything that they can to keep us divided. And they're doing a pretty doggone good job because, unfortunately, most of the Americans are getting they're feeding themselves from the blue Kool-Aid being pumped out 24/7 by the mainstream networks. And that includes Newsmax. Shame on you, Newsmax. Shame on you, Real America's Voice. Shame on you, News Nation. We can expect to get propagandized by the alphabet networks, but unfortunately, the conservatives have run over to these conservative news networks now, and they think they're getting the real truth. Well, there's the 80-20 principle. You get 80% good information, and you mix in 20% bad information. Either way, you can't have mostly the truth. It's either the truth or it isn't. It's like pregnancy. You're either pregnant or you're not. You can't be mostly pregnant or a little bit pregnant. You're either pregnant or you're not. It's either the truth or it isn't. I mean, this is common sense, folks, but then again, I realize common sense is kind of, illegal these days. But anyway, let's see here. I got off on a little bit of a rant there. The Young Turks were going off on it, and well, they should. Here we are.
I'm anti-Israel. At this point, I'm anti-Israel. How am I going to be in favor of a genocidal regime and government?
No, honestly, how can you be pro-Israel?
How could you be pro-Israel
I mean,
at this
it's
point?
not like...
How could you? Seriously.
It's not like we're permanent...
I mean, look, if we're going to do moral judgments, I find it deeply immoral to be a supporter of Israel at this moment.
It is. It's totally immoral.
Like, you can call me whatever you want. I look down at you.
I'll call you something. No. We're done with maniacal Israeli supporters calling other people names.
Yeah,
we're done with that era. Now we're in the era where we call you names, okay? You are not our ally. You are definitely our enemy. And if you ask me to love Israel in the middle of a genocide, my answer is hell no.
Hell no is right. I don't see how anybody can support Israel at this point. I mean, it's right in your face, ladies and gentlemen. And again, this is not a partisan issue. This is not a matter of conservatives or liberals or right wing or left wing or Democrat or Republican. It's right versus wrong. And there's no way in God's green earth that anyone could justify what Bibi Netanyahu and his murderous regime has been doing. But you see, they have a plan. They got a plan. Yeah, they want to have greater Israel. Let me see if I can still pull that one up here. Let's see, where is it? Well, there was a post about, here it is. But unfortunately, this woman is referring to some maps. Okay, and she's showing the map, and if you want, do a search. Just type in Greater Israel and look for images. It'll bring up a map of what Netanyahu's plan is for Greater Israel. He wants to take up part of Egypt. He wants to take up Libya, Jordan. I mean, they just want to expand all the way to to Iraq. Anyway, let's see. I'll play this audio anyway.
I don't want to set the world.
Oh, I can't play the music. I'll get flagged. Yeah, right. Okay.
And everyone
everyone's just pretending it's not happening. Everybody's still acting like this is somehow self-defense, that this is about Israel's right to defend themselves. All their neighbors are out to get them, and they're just trying to exist under existential threat. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu tells I-24 that he feels he's on a historic and spiritual mission, and that he is very attached to the vision of Greater Israel, which includes areas slated for a future Palestinian state, and possibly also areas that are part of present-day Jordan and Egypt. It's not just Jordan and Egypt, bro. This is the map of Greater Israel. And if you think I'm exaggerating, here's him talking about his vision for Greater Israel at the UN before October 7th. These are the patches that the IOF wear on their uniforms, bro.
Okay, I'm going to pause it right there. She's showing all the diagrams and all the maps, the plans for Bibi Netanyahu to take over parts of Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Syria, Jordan, and Egypt. These are his goals. This is a war of conquest, of imperialism.
You understand? They're talking about all of Palestine, Egypt, Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, Jordan, and parts of Saudi Arabia. This is insanity. This relationship between the Israeli regime and the U.S. needs to fucking end yesterday.
Oops. Sorry about that. I didn't even realize that was in there. Whoa, okay. I had to share that with you. Now, there are more and more people that are seeing what's going on here. And like yours truly, I am so frustrated. I mean, I've been screaming from the rooftops for 30 years. The word frustration doesn't do it for me. And you can do your own research. Go ahead, vet me. Double dog dare you. Triple dog dare you. Vet me, folks. I've been doing this for years. Go ahead and go to YouTube and just type in my name and listen to some of the songs that I wrote all those years ago. Nobody was listening. That's the title cut of my first album back in 1996. That was 29 years ago. Will someone listen? That's all I'm asking. Open your ears, open your eyes. The Bible said there are none so blind than those with eyes that will not see. Not cannot, will not. And none so deaf than those with ears that will not hear. Not cannot hear, will not. They choose not to. It's like a large segment of our population in this country, when they're presented with information that challenges their beliefs, they slam their eyes closed, they plug their ears, and they go, la, 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 so they don't have to hear it. It's sad because unless America starts opening up their eyes and listening to what's going on, listen to us crazy tinfoil hat conspiracy theorists, because we're batting 1,000, and we have been for a long, long, frustrating time. Anyway, there's a guy out there, I don't know who this is, but he posted this on X, and he gets it. Listen to this.
I just want to know why so many people say nothing, while this genocide goes beyond imagination. Are they scared of recriminations, of being branded something that they are not, something other than humanitarian in motivation? Are they scared they'll upset some people? Well, how about the thousands of people being blown to pieces of flesh, bone, and blood and spread all over the walls of collapsed buildings? How about taking them into account? When you hold back because you don't want to upset some sectors of society, speak out about it. We've got to stop this madness.
Yes, we do. And unfortunately, we as Americans have been conditioned not to speak about any of this stuff. How many times have you heard, it's not polite conversation to talk about politics or religion? Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, if you don't talk about politics or religion, that guarantees intellectual stagnation. And that's not the American way. As a matter of fact, before there was free press, ask yourself, how did information get around? Way back when, several hundred years before the free press, the only way people knew what the heck was going on was to go down to the local tavern, have a couple of pints, and talk about what's going on in your town. That's how the word got around. That's how people found out what's going on. But you see, you're not supposed to talk about that stuff now. It's okay to talk about Netflix. It's okay to talk about what game was on last night. It's okay to talk about, Ninja Warrior or the Kardashians. That's okay. But God forbid that you should open up a topic of conversation that might have some meaning and substance. No, you can't do that. In the meantime, America has been lulled into a situation where all we can do is complain about things because we don't get involved anymore. No, I can't fight City Hall.
My vote doesn't count. I'm only one person.
We've heard all of those arguments. But in the meantime, what's happened? I mean, you go look back 50 years when our situation was the man could go to work and support his wife and kids. And now married couples both have to work 2 and 3 jobs just to keep their heads afloat. And when you're that preoccupied, you don't have time to pay attention to what's going on, let alone become active in your community. And I'll tell you, the frustration is bleeding out, folks. Listen to this one guy's rant. He was not too happy, and I don't blame him.
I'm going to say this one time real loud with my full chest, so go ahead and hear me out on this one. If working is mandatory, if labor is something we are required to do in order to prove we deserve our existence, if we have no choice but to choose an occupation whether or not we want it, if you are forcing me to sell my body to do somebody else's labor and telling me I have no other choice and neither does anyone else, you shouldn't have any other choice but to give us a roof over our heads, food for our stomachs, and whatever else we need to survive! If you want us to be forced to work, but do not want to guarantee life necessities, that is slavery, you quads! This country loves slavery, they just rebranded it! And don't tell me to leave! I would if I had the fucking money! But that's the whole point of this system, you dumb fucks! This country!
Well, maybe this gentleman is reflecting how many, many Americans are feeling. They're working and working and working and working and working, and they still can't meet their bills. Is this the American way? I mean, a lot of young people now, they're realizing that they'll never have the opportunity to buy a home. And as far as, they were told over and over and over again, look, if you want to make a good living for yourself, you've got to go to college. So what do? They end up with a huge student loan, and they've been financially raped by the banks who put those loans out. They've been financially raped when they go to buy their textbooks. You ever seen the prices of some of these textbooks? I mean, we're talking $300, $400, $500, $600 just for a textbook. And they're financially raped when they have to go and they have to stay at a dormitory. I mean, they're put into debt slavery. And then they come out and they have huge payments. Of course, this guy is frustrated. I don't blame him. And the frustration is felt all over this country. And then on top of that, you put on, on these natural, quote unquote, natural disasters, the hurricanes, the floods, this and that. We all know what's going on in North Carolina, in eastern North Carolina. We all saw what happened in Maui, Hawaii. We saw what happened in the Palisades in California. And meanwhile, all these people have been burned out of their homes, and they can't go anywhere. No wonder people are so frustrated. Well, it's time to get off of our big, fat, pimple-covered butts and start getting involved, ladies and gentlemen, because we're going to lose this country for sure. Anyway, I didn't mean to go off on a rant, but that's sort of what I do here. But I have good reason to do so, and so do you. That's why I'm here, WTF, with the facts, with the receipts. You can't say that Dave said it. You got it all from the horse's mouth, and that's what I do here. I'm with the receipts. And I hope you support this broadcast. Please do. Do business with our sponsors. We've also got a GoFundMe because it costs money to do this show, and Lord knows we're not paying enough bills. So anyway, please visit our website, TheWTFReports.com. If you're listening on Rumble, YouTube, or BitChute, click share, like, and subscribe, and spread the word. That said, we're flat out of time for this Thursday edition. God bless you all. Stay safe, stay free, And I'll be back again tomorrow.